Hello, I made it to Lebanon, Oregon, so just checking in. I noticed that when I'm not triggered, that I feel like a normal human being, and then when I am, I feel like every stereotype there is. It's really weird. So, anyways, I gotta speak a little quieter because there's people in the other rooms, and I figure I'll spend the night here instead of try to drive the whole way down. So I don't have my whiteboard with me, so I'm just going to hang out here and see what comes up. It's been kind of rather rough, but here's the thing. I reached out for support for the first time. There's some part in me that just have such a hard time asking for help. And again, that's not unique to me at all. There is nothing about me that is really all that unique. I like to think that my work, my philosophies that I'm deriving is it's not unique, but I don't see it as much in the world. But that just runs up against this need to be unique, to be different. And the first thing I learned in comedy improv is the desire to be unique is not unique. So, ah, right. Anyways, my mind is freezing up a little bit, and that's okay. Is this? I don't know which. Is it this one? Anyway, I don't know which camera or which microphone is live right now, but it doesn't matter. Whew. So, I wanted to just keep doing a live video, and I don't really know what the objective is right now. Does every moment have to have an objective? My mind is freaking out now, and I just want to let it be. Why is everything so hard? There's so many subconscious uh, threads and tangles that I can't consciously untangle. So, right now, in this moment, I feel the desire to be productive, even though I'm just here in this moment. I feel like I'm stuck here often. See, that's the thing. When I feel triggered, when I feel pressured, I'm stuck in a loop and I'm looping over and over and over. So, looking at it, acknowledging it, sitting with it. So, I know this one moment's perfect. I know that um, yeah, saying there's nothing in my brain, and I judge myself for that. Anyways, um, what now? Okay, my brain is asking me to ask it. Okay, if this one moment was the absolute most important moment of my life. Why might that be? Well, last time it was because I got that question so that I could keep asking myself if every single moment was the most important moment. Um, and the other one was, oh, maybe somebody sees my video and says, oh, I want to invest in that project. Except I don't have any projects. I don't have any pitch. And when I try, my entire brain just freezes up. I don't think that's unique to me. And why do I feel this need right now to explain myself, to say it's not unique? I don't really know what this moment's holding. All that I know is I'm intentionally putting some pressure on and just talking. And yep, I don't have my crutch of my whiteboard iPad, and a big part of me wants to just stop this right now. It's like, run away, run away. But that's my whole freaking life. There's a self-image inside me that does not match reality. This self-image that I could do anything. I can just make up my mind and do it. And I'm not sure that's true. Like, I'm going straight at it right now, and I'm just, well, it's not true in the short term. I think that's part of it. That my self-image is hitting up against the reality of my emotional challenges, my self-image, and my ability to accept myself exactly as I am. So here I am, working on that. I'm seeing the little creases in my head and just like, that looks so weird. Maybe that could be my signature. Like, right. So I accept myself exactly as I am. I understand that when I'm triggered, I turn into a very different person. At least how it feels from the outside. How can I feel? See the words? 1 second. The words don't even come out right. But anyways, doesn't matter. Every moment is perfect, including this one. Including all the struggles for me to understand what I'm going through, that I am in an incarnation. I have strengths and I have weaknesses. I have a lot more weaknesses than I thought. If I stay within my small little circle, then I don't notice it. And I think it began way before I was even born. I think it's second generation World War II trauma. In and then you know, in the womb, chemical environments, fighting, stress. I think my nervous system was always tuned really I don't have the words for it, but anyways, I am working on the solution. I'm. It's frustrating because I see like if you're a mathematician and you're really good, you can have all these proofs and recognition, but the project that I'm working on is to solve the equations of life, of the problems that beset us. And my emotions keep telling me that it's not worth anything. That's my trauma talking. And yet, this is the equation of everything, right? To know what to do and do it. Right? That's as simple as it gets. So it's a 3-step. And then decrease emotional blocks is what I'm doing now. I'm facing all of my emotional traumas, leaning into them. And then increase emotional fuel, which is making everything fun again. So this is the equation for solving the problem set that is life. What do I need to do in the morning? And I just keep doing that as if like a Pac-Man, just eating all the points. And then we just focus on nonviolence, maximizing the individual value of the day. Everything, the problem set seems so simple if you look at it from that way. But I both know it probably isn't, but it just may be that we are overcomplicating everything. You know, taking it from a taking life as a 3-part process, knowing what to do and doing it, decreasing emotional blocks, -1, increase emotional fuel, +1, and then 0 is accepting reality as it is. So those are the 3 parts. I can feel my reality frame shifting. How I feel is determined by what is unconsciously presupposed. So right now, well, right before I walked in the door, I was thinking about like, oh, this is fun. This is, what if I was brand new to Earth and I was experiencing what it's like to spend a night here. Um, and for a moment there, it felt really fun. It's like, oh, this is novel. And it quote unquote worked. Again, even saying that activates so many subconscious waves. And now my vision is all clouded. So let's come back to this moment. All I'm ever doing is one action at a time. And that action is always perfect. Right here, right now. Okay? Then, hold on. Then, the action layer is knowing what to do and doing it. The decreasing emotional blocks while I'm doing it, and increasing emotional fuel. From the first part, knowing what to do and doing it, comes everything else, right? Kind of the whole point of our brain, of our nervous system, is to look out into the world and figure out what should be my next step in the world. And my brain is wishing that I could be a ChatGPT and I could just spit words out effortlessly. Okay, so in terms of emotional strength training, this is working. Because as long as I am in the fire, then that's all there is to it. Is just constantly absorbing exposure therapy and using terriblism, right? So right now, this is pretty terrible. At least that's how it feels. Somebody is shouting. Anyways, it's an experience. It is an incarnation. Yep, somebody's still saying, hey. And what's my responsibility in the world, you know? Do I check it out? Do I keep my head down? Do I... It's not easy. I feel really new to this world. I'm pretty sure I'm neurodivergent. And I can almost not feel it when I'm not kind of stressed out. But when I am, it's like, so when I walk into this room, it's like, oh, I made it. And then my brain's like, what now? I have lost all my routines. Ooh, but here's my saving grace, right? This is my formula, right, for health, rest, fuel, clean, dress, exercise, stretch, and balance. So when I walked in here, it's like, I don't know what to do. So it's like, okay, let's run through the formula. Rest, well, not right now, you know. Fuel, I just took my vitamins and with protein. Feel clean, well, I could take a shower. Dress, I mean, I could change into clothes for tomorrow, which is usually all I do. I change into tomorrow's clothes at the night, so I only do it once. It's like, oh, okay, that gives me a routine. And I also want to do a live video as a journal. And the moment I say the words of like, oh, this is a recording of my time on Earth, it just puts that frame down. It's like so much more interesting. This is a log of me, Hector Quenyin Peng. This time around, I don't know how many times I've incarnated on Earth, but this time around, you know, I am 38 years old and I feel like I've accomplished very little. That's, although I have a system that I've built and I have so much trouble getting it out into the world. But that's just part of the challenge. That's part of the game, is to work out the solution that I see, like math. Like I look at this whole problem set of Earth as a game, as a puzzle, as a math problem, and I go about to solving it. And so the latest solution set focuses on those three things, knowing what to do and doing it, decreasing emotional blocks, increase emotional fuel, and everything serves life. And the way I say it, this is more of a journal entry because I feel like if anyone else was to hear me, they're not going to understand. Nobody really cares. Nobody's probably watching this. I'll probably save it and put it up somewhere, and it's just going to be there. There's so many people, uploading things. But there's also a possibility, when I make it big, because I'm just going to keep working at it, that people are going to look back on this video and be like, whoa, that's Hector? It's like, yeah. So there's always that presupposition in the back of my mind. It's like, either nobody's ever going to see this, or if I make it big, like people are going to scour back to the past of my life, and this could be part of history. Or this could be part of history anyways. Like, who knows? Just a day in the life of... I mean, there's so many people, though, See, and there I go, devaluing myself. Or maybe I'm correctly valuing myself. See, I just double invalidated myself. I think I'm not used to validation. That's just part of the emotional needs that were not met. Again, no need for blame, but and actually the very opposite. I think there was a lot of emotional invalidation, so that my emotional defaults are now the sum of everything that I've gone through. And sometimes it's made up by my mind after I have internalized it. But it came from somewhere. It came from somewhere. It's not my fault. It is my responsibility now, but it's not my fault. And there's just so much that has piled up, and I just keep adding them. Moving here when I was from Hong Kong when I was 6, losing every single tether, having to change language, cultures, and then ever since then, just never been able to catch up, and being neurodivergent, autistic, um, yeah, having prenatal or perinatal probably stress and chemicals, having screaming matches with my mom when I was little, being the youngest, never really did chores, so my own self-efficacy was just non-existent. I didn't even know that kids naturally wanted to help out. That's what happens when we crush a child's natural desires to contribute. So that was crushed in me. And then writing trauma. And then I talked about my writing trauma with Dad and saying like, oh, ChatGPT can help me with that. And Mom laughed at me. It's just like, she scoffed and it's like, oh, you went to college, so, you don't need, like, people who didn't go to college would have trouble writing, but, it's just like that. And I just let it hang, it's like somebody who said something shocking and the whole room kind of goes quiet. Like it was that kind of moment. And then a couple seconds later, I just kept on talking like I didn't hear her. And even then, right, even then, I felt guilty for even implying the shame that, you know, I feel like if I was better, I could have like played it off and like it was no big deal. But it kind of was a big deal. This has been a huge challenge for me, and mom hears it and just does that. And I can only extrapolate to like how many other times has mom done that? Again, this isn't to blame, but it's just like to understand like why my emotional self is a crater. And of course, only if I compare myself to other people who seem like they're functioning pretty well. But I think if I were to actually be able to compare myself to enough people, then I could say like, yeah, I do function pretty well, you know? But I don't have that either. So I just have my own messed up sense of self comparison, and it's always negative, always anxious. It's not always, but I've been diving into my shadow continuously, so it does feel like it's like that all the time because I'm trying to stretch. I'm trying to go beyond just what I do already. So this is just getting all my insides out, you know? And this is part of my shadow work, is bringing what's on the inside outside, to not hide, to not stay silent, and to also say that I'm not blaming my parents. Like I could feel all the suffering that they've gone through, the challenges, the pain, and to have to acknowledge my own pain and traumas that they've caused because of their pain. Again, it's just that's the hard part, the contradiction, the wanting to, the inability to be angry. I don't know if I'm supposed to be angry. I'm supposed to be like, fuck you, like, oh, you did this. It's like, but then I don't want to hurt them. That's a fundamentally thing. Is fundamental. Anyways, I don't want to hurt anyone. I don't want anyone to feel bad. I mean, I'm pretty normal in that way, I think. I think most people want to do well, and we're just all afraid of each other. Nobody says how they feel. Nobody has the freedom to say it. So here I am, you know, giving away all my challenges, all my stumbles, all my inability to articulate. And hopefully, in the future, I will look back on these moments and be like, wow, that's how I was. Right. I've been doing these I've restarted these live videos 2.5 months, 3 months now. And so it hasn't been that long. It really hasn't been that long, and I've made tremendous progress. Like even right now, once I burned off the initial hesitations, and I'm just back in this mood of just talking and, being in the moment and being in this lovely motel. It's not sure I want to sit here, but I'm done hiding. This is what I am. This is where I am. This form isn't what I am, but that's what other people will identify me as, the form, the physical look, the way I sound. Because without that, how would we recognize each other? So I am looking forward to everything the singularity has to bring. I am pretty tired of my limitations. I am tired of. So here's the thing, when I'm not triggered, I am completely a different being. Like, I can think so clearly, I can see all the paths, I can talk about them. But the moment I'm triggered, I feel like this. So let me project that forward, right? And I wonder how many people around me isn't like the parts that I see isn't them. It is their trauma. It is the part of me that I get really frustrated at and I get caught in. And I know that's not me. This isn't me. This is my emotional hiccups. These are my emotional traumas. And as I'm training to keep talking and talking and talking, then I am pushing through, burning through the initial hesitations, and I keep hearing words, and I'm just like, where are these words coming from? How do I keep talking forever? And then the other part of my brain says, like, oh, I have nothing to say. The anxiety part of my brain says, I have nothing to say. A little fly there, but Anyways, another part of my brain judges me as saying, why do I need to say that? Well, hi, judging part of my brain. I see you. So, anyways, uh, how many other people do I see? That isn't them. All I see is their shadow, is their trauma reflections. That's what most people see of me, is my trauma reflections, my hesitations. You know, I get this pause and freeze, and then people walk away, and it's like, well, they never get to know anything more than that. So, um, anyways, right. I'm still working on my problem. I'm working on the problem, the code that I wish I'm looking for a way to deliver to everyone. The update codes, right? The ability to stop ourselves from destroying ourselves. Like, it's so clear that that's what we need. And yet, the delivery vehicle, like where everybody's talking about intelligence, making money. If we had the same race for the solutions of life as we do for science and material things and energy, that's the race I want to start. The coaching race, the self-coaching race, the mental operating system. Because right now I'm building one, I'm training one in myself, and I will find a way to teach this. I will find a way to get it into the world so that every single person will know how to control their consciousness, be able to stop aggression, be able to not take things too hard or too seriously, to learn their absolute no, So right now I'm just really, really bad at sales. I'm bad at turning things into a product, but that is a skill set. That's not a skill set that I have practiced. And my shadow, when it hits that unknown, tells me, oh, I can't do it, I'm worthless. That's my shadow speaking. But here I am committing that I will find a way to bring this to the world. I will bring an end to self-abuse. It's all self-abuse. We're just jumping at shadows, hurting ourselves. We can do better. We can make it through this wave that is coming. And it's so close. We're gonna live to see it. So let's get ahead of it. The artificial intelligence, or I've heard it said that it could also be renamed as collective intelligence because it takes all of our knowledge and compiles it into a program. So it is actually collective intelligence. So collective intelligence is rising, and I am so wildly excited for it, mostly because I am so completely limited by my own shadows, and I'm excited for AI to help me just overcome all of that. So yeah, I am committed to getting this code out into the world. I have solved a fair amount of these problems, and I will keep doing that. I'm probably speaking into the void, which means I'm speaking into infinity. If there's no one watching, then no one is the universe, and no one is only me. I am the only one here. See, it's the same. It's the same. That's the frame, but it's hard to talk about that. Um, right. Anyways, I'm gonna pause here. So I love you all, and I will see you next time. Okay, bye.